That's clickbait, huh? Alright. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all, stop it.
In Dalton, Illinois, a fierce showdown is unfolding as tensions escalate between Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the Board of Trustees. Frustrated by her arrogance and unilateral decision-making, the trustees have publicly condemned her leadership. Their recent confrontation exposed serious allegations of misconduct, including misuse of taxpayer funds and ignoring the board's authority. As a judge's temporary restraining order blocks key appointments, Henyard's explosive response has raised eyebrows and intensified scrutiny. The future of her administration hangs by a thread, leaving residents and officials alike wondering, can she survive this political storm, or is her time running out? Hey guys, I am Olivia. Welcome to Red Rumbles. If you're here for the most intense political drama and the latest heated confrontations, you're in the right place. In today's video, tensions are skyrocketing in Dalton, Illinois, as Mayor Tiffany Henyard faces fierce criticism from the Board of Trustees. With accusations of arrogance and misuse of power, this story is shaping up to be anything but ordinary. You won't want to miss out on the twists and turns that have the whole town talking. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure you stay tuned for all the explosive details. The tension between Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the Board of Trustees has reached unprecedented heights in Dalton, Illinois. What began as mere disagreements over local governance has now transformed into a full-blown power struggle. Trustees accuse Henyard of overstepping her authority, acting without board approval, and favoring close political allies in key decisions. They argue that the mayor has become increasingly dismissive of those who challenge her actions, leading to a profound breakdown in communication and cooperation.
Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from trustees.
During a recent meeting, the atmosphere turned electric. Trustees took turns airing grievances, highlighting instances where they believe Henyard ignored their input and bypassed established protocols. They argued that her actions undermined the very principles of accountability and transparency in local government. This discord has polarized the community, with many residents unsure about whom to support. The conflict has sparked intense discussions within the town. Many residents who have closely followed the situation feel that a leader should foster collaboration rather than division. As debates rage on social media and in local forums, the underlying question remains: how can Dalton restore unity and trust in its governance? The conflict reached a new level when a judge intervened, issuing a restraining order to block 3 of Henyard's appointees from taking office. These appointments included a new police chief, village administrator, and village attorney. The court ruled that the mayor had acted without the necessary board approval, emphasizing that such decisions require collective agreement. This judicial intervention was a significant win for the trustees, who argued that Henyard's unilateral appointments were illegal. The court's decision underscored the limits of the mayor's authority and marked a critical point in this ongoing saga. The ruling sent shockwaves through the local political landscape, as it established a clear precedent regarding the necessary checks and balances within Dalton's governance. Henyard's response to this setback was telling. Rather than acknowledging the court's decision as an opportunity for reflection, she doubled down on her stance, suggesting that the trustees were attempting to undermine her authority. This defiant attitude raised eyebrows and added fuel to the fire, leaving many to wonder how this would all play out in the coming weeks. Rather than address the trustees' concerns with diplomacy, Mayor Henyard reacted with a heated outburst during the meeting that followed the court's ruling. Her response was filled with accusations and denials, claiming that the trustees were targeting her for political gain. She dismissed the allegations of corruption and misconduct, insisting that her decisions were made in the best interests of Dalton's residents. The scene left many stunned. Witnesses described the atmosphere as chaotic, with the mayor's sharp words only adding fuel to the fire. Henyard's combative stance transformed the meeting into a spectacle, further straining the already tense relationship with the trustees.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
Many were left wondering whether she still had the political capital necessary to continue in her role as mayor. As the weeks progressed, it became clear that Henyard's approach was polarizing the community. Some residents were sympathetic to her struggle, viewing her as a leader standing against an entrenched political establishment. Others, however, were frustrated by her unwillingness to compromise and her apparent disregard for the governing processes that define local politics. Dalton's residents have not remained silent amidst the turmoil. Social media has been buzzing with reactions, and many have expressed disappointment with Henyard's conduct. Frustration has been building as locals watch their town's leadership struggle to maintain a sense of order. Some have even gone as far as calling for Henyard's resignation, arguing that her combative attitude is damaging Dalton's reputation and stability. The controversy has highlighted a broader issue: a lack of trust in the town's leadership. As Dalton's residents grow increasingly disillusioned, the pressure on Henyard to adjust her approach or face consequences continues to mount. Community members have voiced concerns that this power struggle is distracting from the critical issues facing the town, such as public safety, infrastructure improvements, and community engagement. Town hall meetings that once served as platforms for open dialogue have become arenas for conflict. Residents attending these meetings are often left with more questions than answers. The atmosphere has shifted from one of cooperation to one where distrust and anger dominate the conversation. Despite Henyard's confrontational stance, the Board of Trustees has remained resolute in their criticism. They emphasize that their aim is to ensure proper governance and accountability. According to the trustees, this dispute isn't a personal attack, but a necessary step to preserve the integrity of Dalton's administration. Trustees have threatened further legal actions if Henyard refuses to comply with the court's order and continues to ignore board protocols. They have made it clear that they are willing to pursue every avenue to protect the interests of Dalton's citizens. This commitment to accountability resonates with many residents who believe that transparency is essential in local governance. The trustees' strategy is rooted in maintaining a united front against what they perceive as Henyard's overreach. This approach has fostered a sense of solidarity among them, allowing them to focus on community concerns rather than the distractions created by the mayor's behavior. As they continue to advocate for responsible governance, the stakes continue to rise, with both sides preparing for a prolonged struggle. Mayor Henyard's leadership style has become a topic of intense debate. Critics argue that her approach has been more focused on asserting control rather than fostering cooperation. By challenging the trustees and dismissing their concerns, she has positioned herself as a divisive figure in Dalton's political landscape. Her decision to hold her own separate meetings, defying board actions, has only deepened the rift. Even as trustees attempt to relocate meetings to accommodate the community, Henyard's insistence on maintaining her presence at Village Hall has become a symbolic point of contention. This clash over meeting spaces illustrates the larger power struggle at play. As public scrutiny intensifies, Henyard's leadership is put to the test. Some residents continue to rally behind her, arguing that she is a necessary disruptor in a system that has become complacent. Others, however, are calling for her to take a step back and reassess her priorities. The community is left to ponder whether Henyard can adapt her approach, or if her current path will lead to further division. Each month, the meetings between Henyard and the trustees have turned into high-stakes spectacles. What should have been routine discussions of local issues have instead become platforms for heated arguments and public confrontations. Dalton's residents, who come expecting standard governance, instead witness a political drama playing out in real time. These clashes have drawn increasing attention, with community members gathering to see how the tensions will unfold. The meetings have become a stage for verbal battles, where accusations fly and tempers flare. Henyard's late arrivals and sharp remarks, coupled with trustees' determination to stand their ground, have turned these events into a regular display of political turmoil. For many in attendance, the atmosphere is tense and unpredictable. Supporters of both sides fill the room, with their presence amplifying the stakes. As conversations escalate, it becomes clear that the conflict has reached a point where reconciliation may be a long way off. The chaotic scenes at Village Hall have left many residents questioning the future of their local government and the effectiveness of their leaders. Even after the judge's ruling, Henyard has continued to test the limits of her authority. By surrounding herself with individuals barred by the restraining order, she seems to be challenging the legal system directly. This defiance has left many wondering whether she is risking legal repercussions to maintain control. Observers note that Henyard's actions could have serious consequences, including the possibility of removal from office. Her decision to ignore the restraining order and carry on as usual may backfire, especially if the courts take further action. The potential legal ramifications of her stance could escalate the situation, leading to a showdown that the residents of Dalton are watching closely. The question remains, will she adjust her tactics before it's too late? As the conflict unfolds, Henyard's refusal to back down only adds to the tension. The ongoing drama has put her leadership skills under the microscope, and many wonder if she can navigate this political minefield without further damaging her reputation. On the other side, the trustees are focusing on damage control. They are attempting to distance themselves from the escalating drama while maintaining their role in keeping Dalton's government functioning. Their frustration with Henyard's erratic behavior is evident, yet they continue to emphasize their commitment to accountability. This measured approach has resonated with some residents, who appreciate the trustees' efforts to prioritize community interests. However, the trustees face a challenging road ahead as they navigate Henyard's resistance and the ongoing fallout from the political turmoil. As they work to maintain order, the stakes are high. The trustees are keenly aware of the responsibility they hold, not only to the residents, but also to the principles of good governance. Their strategy is rooted in a desire to uphold the integrity of Dalton's political process, and they are prepared to take bold steps to ensure that this goal is met. The community watches closely, weighing the actions of both sides as they attempt to forecast the future of their leadership. The coming weeks could prove pivotal for both Mayor Henyard and the Board of Trustees. As scrutiny intensifies, Henyard faces a critical decision: continue her defiance or attempt to bridge the gap with her critics. With public support wavering, she may find it increasingly difficult to retain control if she doesn't adapt. For the trustees, the focus remains on upholding governance standards and advocating for transparency. They have positioned themselves as the voice of accountability, even as they brace for potential legal battles. Their determination to keep Dalton on track despite the chaos may ultimately determine the future of the town's leadership. As this political saga unfolds, Dalton's residents are left to grapple with the consequences of their leaders' actions. The community is at a crossroads, where the outcome of this conflict could have lasting implications for local governance. The question of leadership will be paramount in the coming months, as the people of Dalton seek a resolution that aligns with their values and aspirations. The drama in Dalton continues to intensify, with no signs of cooling down. As the Board of Trustees and Mayor Henyard remain locked in conflict, the stakes for Dalton's future have never been higher. Will Mayor Henyard change her course, or will the trustees' call for accountability prevail? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Red Rumbles for more updates on this and other explosive stories. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.